All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope you're having a great morning and hope you had an amazing day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing? And how is the big man of the house? Hope he's feeling better. Norm, I don't think we can hear you. Gotcha. All right, looks like I have to restart my screen here. 1 second, folks. How about on YouTube? Can you guys hear me okay? All right, perfect. Thank you, BTC. All right, just give me 1 second while we get this started up and make sure our main chat room can hear us clearly as well. All right. How about now, guys? Can you guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear, buddy.
Excellent. So like I was saying earlier, guys, good morning. Welcome to the pre-market show. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great morning and hope you had a great day yesterday. And Norm, I was asking how's the little one and hope you're doing okay today as well.
My little dude is back at school. Yesterday they called me. I think it was 9:35 Eastern or so, right before the market was about to open. Said, "Hey, his fever popped up. You got to come get him." So like, So anyway, hopefully we don't have any false starts.
Excellent, excellent. Well, glad he's feeling a lot better, man. All right, guys, let's get to it. We had actually a pretty long list, even after we shut YouTube off. Andrew went through his watch list, and then we still had other stocks that were just a lot going on, especially all these brokers kind of in the middle of the mix here. Some traded well, some were very choppy. So we're going to go through some of them. This is one of the lists I remember having, but throughout the morning, we had tons of stuff that kept coming up that was in the gappers list that either hit our scanner. So again, there was a lot to watch yesterday, but we're going to look just at these here just for the sake of time. So let's start with ETFC. Let's get our 5-minute chart right in here so we can see what's going on, and then we'll get our 1 minute as well to get a little bit closer to the action on how it traded yesterday. So here it is, ETFC. Again, 5-minute looks very great here. You had another drop on ETFC yesterday as well. And again, just at the open, again, all the actions happen on the pre-market activity. Then the opens just kind of seem a little flat, guys. Again, not a lot going on here. You do get a little trend trade, tries to get a little higher, but if you can see on the 5, it gets a little toppy and doesn't do much. And the volume was also very low. So again, ETFC was not the best trade yesterday. At least for me, I couldn't able to find a good trade in this. It just seemed like it was just not choppy, but just not a lot of activity for us to trade. AMTD, on the other hand, this one out of all of them has been the one that seems to sell off the most and is taking the bigger hit. Let's just go back to the daily really quick. They had again, probably one of the ones that had the biggest loss since Wednesday, I believe. No, that was Tuesday. And then had a good continuation yesterday as well. And if you look at the 5-minute, again, it was very, very clean also. You can see here, right over here. So you can see here, again, it had a lot of activity. And then it was one of the ones that traded the best out of all of them. Again, this was more active, a nice engulfing crack here towards the top. You could have went long here and taken some off here. And then from there, it just gets a little bit choppy. But again, as far as action, this is the one that kind of traded the best out of all of these. So let me get the 1 minute. Is it showing the right thing? Yeah, it is right here. Okay. Excellent. So yeah, kind of the ones that was the cleanest out of all of them. Next we had Schwab. Schwab, again, also guys, horrible pre-market activity. Nice drop here, but then a reversal, which again, just not clean. Kind of like ETFC, also not as clean. Next we had IBK, another one that's what, again, just didn't trade so clean neither. So again, these were dropping off quite a bit. And then you get on IB, you did get a drop out of nowhere around 11. So I'm not sure what caused this here. Again, just got a huge drop out of nowhere on IB. The volume started coming in, so we did call that out in the chat room. But again, just not sure how you were able to catch that type of drop there. TSG was one yesterday that was very, very active. Had a beautiful pre-market activity, guys. This one was up 30-40% yesterday, as you can see here in the daily. Huge gap on the daily here. So we'll see what it does today. Look at the volume, guys. 50 million shares traded. yesterday. So again, a lot of activity on this one yesterday and throughout the day. But here's how it traded at the open. It had this great drop here, which was actually very aggressive, guys. This is going from 2020 all the way down to 1940. So so that's a decent sized drop. And again, it might not sound like a lot, but if you saw the way this was trading, it was just wild. Again, just maybe because all the volume it had, but it was just very difficult to trade this here. Then it shoots right back up all the way up to 2020. Here's where I went long. I'm trying to get up to 2060, couldn't make it, so I got stopped out for break even. But then from there, after this pop, it just becomes very difficult to trade on what it wants to do. It looks like it was holding 2020 and it wanted to head higher and squeeze. It was a strong stock, so it was one that we don't recommend shorting, but here became a good short though, right in this area. Once it tested 2020 again, it couldn't get above it. This became a good short. But again, I was watching this price action, guys. It was not as clean as we would like to take a trade on it. ATVI also had a beautiful opening range breakdown. I missed this one. This is exactly what I look for. Look how clean this is. Beautiful pullback towards the VWAP, and then this drop out of nowhere. Now, I'm not expecting this drop here, but I am expecting for it to to give me a good opening range breakdown. If you did get in for that trade, you can see how this beautiful drop just continues all the way down past some of these levels that we have, 51.20 and 50.43. And then you get this crazy candle on the 5. I don't know, it just bounces off of here. It just comes right back towards the VWAP. You can see it on the 1 minute, beautiful engulfing there. But again, that's a very difficult trade to take because it just happened so fast, right? Once it pulls back up over here, you don't know if it's going to continue back up or if it's going to head back down for another leg. Then SFIX was also on our list. This was another one that also traded well. Beautiful opening range, follow a somewhat of a bull flag right on there. You can see higher highs, higher lows. So again, that was very clean if you was looking at this. I had it on my list, but again, just missed this possible play here towards the top. You could play this both ways. For a possible opening range breakup, your entry would have been on this pullback on the way up, or you could have taken. Actually, I took this trade, I believe. This is one that I took. Yeah, I took this trade. Yeah. So my recap yesterday, you can see I took this trade here for a long and open range breakup, and then took it towards the top. You could have played as a bull flag as well. Bull flag, higher highs, higher lows, get in here for the long, and you can see that beautiful pop towards the top. So that was nice. Now I remember on this trade here, the price action was a little funky. I don't know if it's the volume was not all there, but the price action was not clean. Some of these wicks are just, this one here just appeared. It just popped up, and that's what scared me out of this trade, actually, because when it just popped up and came back down, on the next one I was completely out. So again, the price action a little bit tough on SFIX. So that is what we had, guys, and there was a lot more other trades that other members had as well, other tickers that traded very, very well and very clean. Norm, what do we have as far as news and the SPY? I'll bring the chart up.
Yeah, so as everybody knows, we've had quite the sell-off last couple of days. The VIX has popped up over 20, even though it's pulling back just a little bit this morning. It's still elevated over at a number over 20 right now. When I got up this morning, started looking at news, SPY was actually green, looked like we were ready for a bit of a bounce. It's gone red, but all eyes today are on the ISM non-manufacturing index, which is a measure of the strength of the services sector of the economy. On Tuesday, what sparked a lot of this sell-off was the manufacturing data that came out weaker than expected, showed some contraction in the U.S. manufacturing sector. And on top of a couple of other things that have happened in the last few days, that spiked things a bit. So jobless claims came in essentially as expected, a little bit worse, but jobless claims are slowly ticking up. Hopefully the non-manufacturing, aka services side, can hold up things and look promising when it comes out. That's 10 a.m. this morning. So just like on Tuesday, when the SPY, just for instance, Apple, I was in a trade on Apple on Tuesday morning, and I got out about 5 minutes before that number hit. And it hit high a day and tanked after that came out. So just know that that'll be out there and has some potential. Then tomorrow morning, a big non-farm payrolls number for September. See what happens there. See people, there's concern once again about a recession or slowing economy. And these numbers are going to be a big piece of the puzzle to figure out what market sentiment is as far as that goes.
Gotcha. All right, guys. So be on the lookout for that. Looking at Apple now, it's just because I have it up. You can see it's in the bottom of this range that has been been testing quite a bit here, so that's interesting. See what it does there. Could be a good possible short if it can lose that towards these moving averages 215 as well. You can see some points on there, and also we'll see if it bounces. But again, this is a decent daily chart on Apple. We'll have to see how that plays out. Here we have only one ticker on our gappers list this morning, and it is Tesla, and I believe it was the it has some news out yesterday, right? Some quarterly reports or something like that that caused this drop on Tesla.
They had their it was their the time when monthly auto sales are reported. They came out a little bit lighter than analysts expected. So essentially, I believe the estimate that was on the street was 99,000 deliveries for the month. They delivered 97 off the top of my head, and so in order to meet the bottom end of their full year guidance that they have said they will hit, they would have to produce a record number of cars. I think it averages like 105,000 per month for the rest of the year, which is more than they've ever done per month. So a little bit called into question on that.
Gotcha. So here we have it, guys. They are down 5% this morning. Some good volume, good pre-market activity. 200,000 shares basically traded at the moment, and they got a great pre-market activity this morning. Usually they don't have this this good morning activity. Today they do have that, and we do have somewhat of some catalyst behind this. So this could be great. We do have some levels on here, kind of sitting at a area where you have some points on there as well. Right in here, where the price action is. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Is this news going to continue to drop further, hit some of these levels down here? What is it going to do? So definitely one that is in play today. That is what I have here. Let me go through the NASDAQ active.
One other thing is, and somebody pointed it out on YouTube, and it is the case. They are buying a company called DeepScale. I have not been able to really dig into heard about that earlier, but I haven't been able to dig into the specifics on it. So I don't know if that's having an impact on it as well, but I think the numbers are having the bigger impact.
Gotcha. All right, so we'll definitely keep an eye on this one. I think it will be in play today for sure. A lot of activity. Look at this volume coming in now. Somebody's dropping some big shares in here. So I think it will be definitely one to watch this morning. All right, let's go to our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers, and then we'll see what Norm likes this morning aside from what we have, which is not much at the moment. Then we'll look at some of our favorite guys, AMD, MU, JD, Baba, all these other ones that we're constantly keeping an eye on just in case. So FCEL on the NASDAQ active list, not doing much, guys. Penny stock, we'll skip this. TSG, this is one that I actually would like to watch because it has such a huge gap yesterday. It traded fairly just not choppy, but pretty much flat, right? If you look at it, it made this high and low here. It's kind of got a more of an indecision candle building up here all alone in this little island. So we'll have to see what it does here. This could be a good continuation. I know I was looking at it yesterday. We do have some tops we can hit over here. But if you notice this one, every time it gaps up, it comes right back down to where it came from. So I'll be looking forward to see what this one does today. I definitely like it for a possible TSG on here. Again, not much activity right now, guys, in regards to pre-market action, but you do have 1 million shares traded. I don't know where that volume is because this doesn't look pretty at all, but definitely one worth watching this morning. TVIX obviously pretty much flat, might be heading a little higher here with the SPY probably dropping a bit, but again, everything's pretty much flat right now. NAKD, as we know, is a penny stock, so we'll skip that one. SFED also penny, we'll skip that one. GoPro, GPRO, I know Dave from Connecticut was mentioning this one earlier. Looks like they might have some news. They're dropping down 16.8. No, I'm not sure if you had a chance to take a peek at what is causing this drop today on GoPro, but definitely one worth watching. We'll throw it on here. GPRO earnings, thank you, Igor. So we'll throw that on there. TLT, this is Treasury. It's been a nice little run here the last couple of days. You can see popping up nicely here. Again, this is a Treasury, so not really tradable, but not really one that I actually look for or keep on my watch list. BBBY, also another one that I've seen you guys mention on YouTube, at Adir and some other ones. AJM, thank you for mentioning that. This one's also on here. They're dropping quite a bit, 5.2, 336,000 shares traded so far. So we'll keep an eye on it. Not sure. Did they actually? They have earnings yesterday, I believe. Norm.
Yeah, they released earnings last night. The GoPro is not on earnings. It's on some delayed camera shipments.
Okay, gotcha. So On BBY though, even though they released last night, I don't see much activity happening last night. It seems like all happened this morning, or it's just not a big drop per se. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep an eye on it. Definitely in an area where if we can lose this, we also have a moving edge below here for the news, depending how things are. We can take advantage of this. BBY, we'll put it on there. Next we have INPX. This one, penny stock, not much going on in the NASDAQ ETF. QQQ, as you can see, pretty much flat after a couple of really savage red days here. So we'll see what's going on. All right, SMMT, not doing much, no activity. SVRA, also crappy. Acor, not doing much. MEET, MEET, no activity. TWMC, nothing happening. CODX, nothing going on there. MLNT, crappy. Go is not going anywhere. Next we have CRWD, also not doing much, not much activity. TRNX, crappy. And last one, we'll look at FEFY. So again, not much here off this NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers list. Kind of shows you kind of what the SPY is doing, right? Pretty much, I think everybody's just waiting to see what are we going to do here with the SPY. You know, I think that we're in an area where everybody's just kind of holding off. Let's wait for the market to open, and then we'll decide where we're going to go, long or short. So a lot of flat stuff. Norm, what do you like this morning besides the little bit that we have here right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep my eyes on Apple. Once again, you know, that pattern that we've discussed the last few days and the failed breakout that it had. So I'll have my eyes on that. I won't necessarily jump into anything too quickly just because it is kind of back in no man's land. But if it breaks under that range, the moving average on the daily, it might be an interesting short. I think it's more likely to kind of just sit there for now, but we'll see. I will be watching for it. Then Roku, in this deeply pessimistic market that we've had the last couple of days, the dumpster fire known as Roku that has been on a steady and quick decline over the last month, as someone has been working to hold this level and consolidating right here just over 100. So I'm going to be interested to see what it does. I'm not a huge fan of trading Roku. I don't like how it trades, but if it gets a big day where it moves nicely, you can take a really small share size, limit my risk on it and get something decent out of it. So,
yeah, Roku is going to be interesting. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but again, this is just one that we will definitely can keep an eye on. All right, guys, let's go to chats. What do you guys like this morning? So David from Connecticut is giving us STZ. By the way, David has been with us for a very long time as a member, so he's a great part of this community. STZ, nice. This is dropping quite a bit. Yeah, STC is interesting. Do they have earnings?
Yeah, they had earnings. So it should be interesting. It's a high-price stock. It's not the easiest thing in the world to trade. It's not on like a list of mine that I hate, but it is more difficult. So just keep an eye on that. Usually when I trade it, I'll take a smaller size and let it go because it can really move if it gets if it gets in the mood to do so.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of shares to make some good money or to lose some good money. So make sure you keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can see here again, tends to be very choppy unless it's really in play. So yeah, definitely be careful with this one. Cindy's giving us PEP. So let's look at PEP. This is up 2.2. Not that much volume traded yet. But I think I saw earnings calendar. These guys are today or something. They're scheduled to do earnings. I'm not sure if it happened already.
Yeah, they released this morning, and they had some good news on that front. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. It's not surprising. I mean, that Pepsi doesn't usually trade a ton pre-market.
Right.
But we'll see if they can pick up.
Excellent. So keep an eye on that. CLF, I'm not seeing a lot on here. Again, it has 196,000 shares traded, but I'm not seeing where that volume is at. Pretty crappy pre-market activity at the moment. The daily does look like you're getting some kind of bounce right on here. There's clearly an area of support. Every time we get around this previous day close, which is 670, there seems to get a volume increase and you get some kind of push towards the top. So we're in that same situation right now. We had a drop here that the reaction was to bounce off of that. We had a drop yesterday. and we gotta see what the reaction is. Now, keep in mind the only difference here, this drop is a lot bigger than this. So, and again, this could be an overreaction. We'll have to see how that plays out. But right now, for the main list, not much activity on the pre-market. We do have some volume, but again, it could be some block trades or something like that. Not creating anything too exciting. All right, so what else do we have here? Perfect. Snap. Let's look at Snap. Here we go. All right, Snap. Wow, Snap. I haven't looked at the chart for Snap in a while. I mean, this thing was on a beautiful uptrend here. I remember we traded it around here for a long. I don't remember trading this day here. We had it on our watches, but I didn't trade it on this day. And we can see the beautiful drop here now, heading back down towards this area where we have some support in the past. Now, Snap, guys, could be again a little bit choppy. As you can see in this daily chart, it is not clean at all. You have some days that you were able to get some good trading out of this towards the short side or the long side, but overall, again, not the best daily chart. So they're down quite a bit, hitting as high as almost this point over here. This was what, 18, and now we're back down to 14.53, down $4 almost from the last couple of days, a week or two, definitely 2 weeks in here. So 89,000 shares traded so far. If this continues to drop, it could be interesting. Right now, pre-market activity is a little choppy, not much going on, but we can throw it on here just to see what Snap is going to do in this area. All right, what else we have, guys? The Snap CIO. We'll look at CIO, then we'll look at OSTK. CIO. What is this? Is this a realty company? What is this? Whoops.
It's a REIT.
It's a REIT. Okay. Oh yeah. So these are tough to trade, guys. They're tradable, but they're really tough to trade, and they don't move much. That's the one thing too. Their ATRs usually tend to be very small. So again, just be careful. It is down a bit right now, 3.1, but this thing could just be very choppy. And again, to get a good move out of this, man, I mean, let's just check. What's the ATR on this? Just to give you guys an idea. CIO ATR is 22 cents, right? So again, it's just very low, guys. You might sit on this all day and only come out with 15 cents. So might not be worth your time. OSTK is a huge drop. Look at this thing, man. This is just such a garbage stock. Look at this, at 30, drops down all the way to 1031 here. We do have some areas of support in this. This could be an area of a buy area right here that we're in now. So again, just got to be careful with this one here. But again, not a lot going on right now. Only 7,000 shares traded. Nothing too exciting, but the daily is definitely in an interesting area for you to watch over the next couple of days to see what it does here. If it loses some of this area that people have bought it up from before, it could be interesting towards the bottom. Not sure what the all-time low is on this one, but again, just not doing much right now. But Android, this is something you can keep on your secondary list and watch, see how that plays out. All right, what else do we have, guys? Anything else that that looks interesting? So OSTK, PEP, we have somebody giving us PayPal. Let's look at that. Norman, you have something?
No, and just a reminder that Overstock is a relatively small float.
Yes.
What is it, 28 or 30, somewhere in there anyway, but it's also got massive short interest in it, so it can be very volatile.
Yeah,
I don't touch it.
Very difficult to trade. Also, I mean, the ATR, guys, is $2.40 on a stock that's trading at $13. That's a lot. So you want to be extra careful with that one. And it really trades like a low flow. I treat it as a low flow, really, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. It is a low flow, really.
Yeah, it trades horrible. Not horrible. It just trades very whippy. And if you're not in the right side of a trade, very hard to manage your risk and take a good stab at that. All right, so PayPal also in a very interesting area. They are flat at the moment. Some interesting transactions happening here in the pre-market, but I can see how this is interesting. The last couple of days have been dropping quite a bit. They lost this significant area of support that they tested quite a bit back in August, 1, 2, maybe 4 days on here, and again this massive drop, and found support around that same area again. We have the moving average on here, well, that was probably helping consolidate it, and now we got the drop down to the next area of support, which was prior resistance in this area here. So again, not sure where this is going next. Could be interesting. Right now the volume is not all there. Could be one that you can put on your secondary list, maybe set some alerts if it goes below some of these levels, and you can start paying attention to it. Next we have NNVC. We'll do two more, guys, and then we'll get over to announcements. NNVC, this looks like a low flow stock. I don't like the daily on it. I don't like the price range. Look at the daily. Oh man, this is, whoo. Yeah, no, we don't. You don't want to be involved in this stuff. It has a nice drop here, but again, this daily here is just horrible. You don't want to be involved in this type of trading. It's important to have a stock that you can see good patterns trading in the daily, because then that means most likely in the intraday you're going to get some good activity out of it. This is also a low float, 3 million shares float. So again, you want to be careful with these type of stocks. All right, yeah, let's look at MU and AMD. Let's look at those two. So MU, obviously they had earnings, and look at this insane drop after they did pretty well, bouncing, getting up all the way up to 51.25. Then we had this earnings came out, and I remember this thing just dropped massively. They seem to have found some support in a previous area of support, and it always seems that way, right? The area of support was prior resistance, right? Look at the resistance here, twice, finally broke out of it, comes back, here's a retest, goes back up. I mean, how many times do we see this guy's consolidation on the same area of support, finally shoots up again, and then we're right back down to this area one more time, 42.10. Again, we see this over and over and over again. So it can go either way here, guys. It can find support here. Again, it has some bad earnings. But right now, the activity is pretty low. This is one you can also put on your secondary list. We can throw it down here. Let's put MU. I think NNVC is crap. We'll take that out. And let's look quickly at AMD as we get closer to 9 a.m. Eastern time. So AMD, you know what? AMD slowly and a crappy trading actually left this range. Right, we've been watching this range for a while now. It actually has left this range that it was stuck in, but man, it left it in the worst fashion ever. Very difficult to take a trade there. So I'm not sure. I think it's very choppy right now. You do have a little bit of volume, not a lot for AMD. AMD usually when it's in play, you're gonna have tons of volume here, but right now, not looking all that great. All right, guys, let's get to announcements. So and then we'll get to this list and bring it up. Where's my PowerPoint here, and we'll bring up make this list a little fine tuner on what we.
Are you going to make it through announcements, or are they going to break through that door behind you?
That's what I'm trying to get you as soon as possible before they put me in the handcuffs here. All right, here we go.
All right, guys. If you haven't seen it, go to our Facebook page, Bear Book Traders Facebook page. Check out the picks from the New York City meetup with Dr. Steenberger. DAS #1 Best Trader competition going on a little bit longer, ends on October 15th. You can go to onebesttrader.com, check out the live leaderboard. We have been honored to have been nominated for the Benzinga FinTech Awards, Best Financial Literacy Tool category. Sincerely appreciate your vote. If you like the content we put out there, you can vote one time per day per device. AB will throw up the links. Meetups coming up. We've got St. Louis on October 19th. That'll be William and Kurt there. San Diego, October 26th. Andrew will be there. It coincides with the Trade Ideas Conference, where he'll be sitting on a panel. So hope you guys can make it there. So that one, Trade Ideas Conference, is well worth the trip as well. So you get a good combo there of both the meetup and the Trade Ideas Conference. If you can't make it, they do stream that. And I highly suggest watching that if you can spare a Saturday and your favorite college football team is not playing. Or just streaming it on the side and keeping an eye on it. For instance, if that was on, I think it's October 12th, Texas OU, there's no way I'd be able to watch it. But anyway, so Clearwater Beach, Florida, November 16th. We'll have more details as that gets closer. We had a lot of non-members at the New York City meetup, and they were asked, a lot of them were asking about becoming members. If you use the code New York City, you get 30% off a lifetime membership or 25% off an annual membership. Website maintenance coming up this weekend. So Friday evening through Sunday, an email was sent out to anybody on the email list with a little more details and everything. But we're migrating hosting sites, hoping for improve everybody's experience. And because of that, there will be some downtime for the website over this coming weekend. Also, if you're on YouTube watching us and you have not tried out the room, but you would like to trade live with us, or come check out and see what goes on in the room all day, you can use the discount code premarket24. It does not auto-renew, does not turn into another type of membership. And if you want to be notified of all the content that we put out, whether it's interviews or Williams Trade Reviews, the pre-market show, anything like that, if you hit the subscribe button and then the notification bell, that will let you know when we put anything up live. Also, we are honored to, we are very happy to be sponsoring Traders for a Cause. If you Google Traders for a Cause or go to the website, I believe it's just tradersforacause.org, you can see all the great charities that they contribute to. And they have a big event coming up in October 11th through 13th in Las Vegas. Andrew will be there. And if you would like to go to the conference, you can use the promo code Bearable VIP and save $250 off your ticket. That's all I got, buddy.
All right, excellent. All right, folks, let's get to this list. Let's see what we got going on here. So on the top, we have Tesla. So Tesla here is, again, pretty active this morning, guys, on some news, on some deliveries, information, and, possibly them not making their numbers as they expected it, as Don was mentioning earlier. So let's mark down our low of our pre-market sitting at 230 exactly. So we'll mark that down, 230 right in here. Yeah, so 230. I guess this one over here. Okay, there we go. So 230 is low of the pre-market. Below that, guys, we do have a nice little support area all the way down here. Actually, an extreme reversal happening here. As you can see, 218, then we head right back up. Obviously, that's a ways down for Tesla. It is possible, as you can see here, they had a beautiful drop on this day here. This is a possibility, but 225, I think, is going to be a number you want to have marked down as well. You do have some days kind of using that as somewhat of a support, somewhat of a resistance. So again, that's a good area to have as a target for a possible profit area, or just in case you're going into that level, you want to make sure you check out how it reacts, because you could have a loss of momentum. And if you just look back overall, you can see some of the resistance being tested around that area before you finally do this nice little wedge and break out of that 225, back to support, and some resistance. So again, I think that would be a good area to have. Towards the top, I'm not going to add anything because you have just so much stuff going on here. Maybe we can add the high of the pre-market just to gauge the range, and if it can break out of this 233.25, right? So we're kind of stuck within this small little range right now in the pre-market, and you'd be surprised, not be surprised, you guys know because you guys are experts here, how these react at the open, right? Once it breaks out of this, you can tend to get a nice little run going, or towards the bottom as well. So these are good levels to have when you start your trading day, especially if you're trading that first 5-15 minutes of the open. Above that, guys, we have plenty, so I'm not going to add any more. You have some moving averages on here. You have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and previous day close right in here. Again, so plenty of levels of resistance towards the top, so I don't need to get that area more congested. TSG, I'm going to keep here, guys, as a possible. It's starting to get some activity now. It has traded 1.1 million shares so far. I don't see where that's coming from in here. Again, that number could be from maybe some after hours trading last night. Not exactly sure. But again, definitely going to watch this one today for a possibility if it can break out of some of these levels and we can get some type of continuation. Remember, guys, this thing opened up pretty strong. I think it's about 40 to 30%, I believe, yesterday. And today we can see if we can get some continuation out of this one. So we have highs and lows of the last 2 trading days, previous day close. Again, it hasn't done much right now. So your high of your pre-market is 2010. So we'll mark that down and see if we can get going above that. And then I'm not really going to mark anything else on here. I think you do have towards the top, well, you can mark 2175. You do have this area here. I am keeping in mind, guys, a few times this thing has gapped up, it has sold off right back to the range that it was trading, right? So I'm keeping that in mind because this is very extended here. If we head back down and lose this 19, or we lose this previous day close, could be interesting from the previous day close to 19. And if we lose that, even more interesting, heading down to some of these areas down here. So again, tons of volume traded yesterday here. So a lot of people watching this stock since the last couple of days. So that's that one. GPRO, pretty active this pre-market, 672,000 shares traded. You can see here nice activity on the 5. The daily also looks interesting. Could be at an area of the top of the support resistance of this range that it had here. So you have several areas here that has been tested. We can definitely mark the low of the pre-market seems to somewhat cover that area. So low of your pre-market sitting at 418. Let's see how that lays out on the chart. Yeah, so 418 definitely covering the support and resistance that you have over the last couple of days between August and beginning of September. Towards the bottom, obviously extreme reversal right here at 364. And you do have an area right in here where you got some testing going on at around $4, right? $4. You can see some of the days here bouncing off that 394 range, and then of course 364. Towards the top, guys, I'm going to mark down the high of the pre-market seems to also cover some areas of of resistance here and support. Once it broke out of this, you can see the support happening here, a nice consolidation before it finally, shoots up towards the 540 area. And above that, you do have this one right here, which I like as well, 477. You can see several areas using that as resistance, and you also have two moving averages surrounding the 477. So keep that on there. So again, plenty of support and resistance for GoPro. Doesn't move much, guys, but it looks pretty active. And again, with the type of morning we're having today, I don't think we can be very, very picky. So we can see if that gives us an opportunity. BBY, again, not a great pre-market activity right now. They did report earnings last night, so it can be worth watching to see what we can get out of this today. Low of the pre-market sitting at 919. Your high of your pre-market is right at the low of yesterday, so I don't think you need to add that on. That you already have it. The price action is kind of sitting of an area of what it was support for a couple of days here between 17 and 26 of September. So again, price action right on there. We have to see how that plays out. But again, not much happening right now. Pretty quiet. It has 379,000 shares traded, but again, not doing all that well at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on it. Apple here, guys, another possible. Apple's it's kind of at the bottom of this range that Norm was talking about, right? So you're kind of bouncing back and forth here. We're kind of dropping here now. So if we can lose that, we do have a moving average all the way down here to around 211.61. So 211.61, you want to mark that down. And then you have towards the top highs and lows from the last two trading days right around here with this beautiful test of this high, breaking the previous recent high here. So that was nice, nice rejection, beautiful drop to the bottom of this support where we're sitting at right now. Roku, guys, Roku's a good possible. I'm not going to keep this on the list, but I'm going to throw it down here for a possible just to look at and see how this trades at the open. Again, it could just be doing a consolidation here. Actually, not could be. It is doing a consolidation here. So we'll have to see, are we going to break down lower and lose this support around 99, I believe it is, 99.18, or are we going to get a little bounce here? But we do have some resistance towards the top. Moving average is curling down a little bit here. And again, we're following a nice big drop of several days. So next, that'll be a possible. I'll have that on my secondary list. STS. Again, this one is also, guys, one that has earnings news on it. But again, it's very tough to trade, guys, so be very careful. This is the low of the pre-market at 198.09. 198 to be exact. Below this, you do have some areas right on here at 192. And then all the way down here, you have 184. So towards the top, you've been consolidating for the last couple of days between 207 and 205-ish, looks like. Again, nice drop here. So you got plenty of levels towards the top. I don't think you need to add any more in that direction. Again, not one of my favorites this morning, but we'll see how it reacts with the turbo breakup or breakdown scanners. PEP also, again, it's been trading really nasty. This daily chart's just chopping around here. We're up quite a bit, 2.1. Pre-market activity really nasty, guys. And again, not much volume. So another possible swap. I'm not going to add it to our main list over here, but we'll keep an eye on it. Again, not sure what we're going to get out of that. Snap is interesting, is losing this area of support that we had in the past, prior area of resistance. So towards the bottom, you do have this one area here at 14. So 14 could be an area, and also you have 14.44. Now, pre-market activity on these guys is very, very nasty, not doing much. You do have 112,000 shares traded, but again, Snap can be very choppy, and today's kind of looks like it's just pretty flat at the moment. We do have levels towards the bottom, 14, 44, and 14. And then towards the top, highs and low from the last trading day. I mean, low from the last trading day. Previous day close as well here. So we'll see which way it breaks out of. That's a good one to have as a possible. MU, same situation, guys. These are all possibles for me. As we get closer to 9:15, 9:30, I might look at these again and decide, if which ones I'm going to keep on my secondary list, because this is way too much for my secondary list. AMD, same situation, guys, not doing anything too spectacular. I think, like we mentioned earlier, a lot of traders are probably going to wait to see what the SPY is going to do, right? To try to get a bias on whether we're going long or short market-wise. And then that could create some reaction out of these all possibles that we have here, especially the ones that are reporting as STC and PAP. So that is what we have. Norm, anything that we might have missed that we can go over? We have CRWD becoming a little active here this morning.
Yeah, CrowdStrike is. I don't have anything in addition to what you've already looked at.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of people asking about commissions and such. I just want to say, guys, this business has changed a lot over time. If you go back a long time ago, it was a mandatory 1% of the price of a trade, commissions a long time ago, which if you just think about what we trade and how we trade, it wouldn't be possible if that were the case. There's no way that you could make it out of that. And then if you go back, 20 years or so, it was $20 per trade, and it slowly inched down. I'm with IB, and it's less than half a cent per. It's less than half a cent per share per trade, and it's not a bad commission there. Mm-hmm. I think all this news has just come out over the last week with Interactive Brokers Lite being the first one, and I'm going to wait for everything to evolve. Right. It'd be awesome if free commissions come, but I'm not going to give up good executions and such for that. Or trade with an inferior platform. I'd rather pay the small commissions I pay, have a good trading platform for what I do and such. But of course, I'd love to not pay anything or pay less than I am now. So just let's see where it pans out.
Yeah,
it should be interesting.
It
with
sure
more
is.
will come. This isn't the end. I mean,
just the beginning.
Just the beginning. And Interactive Brokers, they were the first one to make this step in this last slew of news over the last week. And what they're offering isn't, geared towards me as their client. It's geared towards Robinhood and slightly less active traders and such. So anyway, I know that's being asked and spoken about it a lot.
Yeah, and we do have some time, so yeah, definitely we could address those type of issues. Again, I'm with you, Norm. I think you got to wait for it to settle down and see what happens. At the end of the day, it's going to be good for us, the consumer, right? We like this competition back and forth. So, yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you completely. So my quick answer to a lot of people that are either asking on YouTube or asking in the room is I'm going to sit still for a little bit. I'm going to see how things pan out. Maybe Interactive Brokers comes along and does the same thing to their normal account like TD Ameritrade has or something along those lines. We'll see. It's good for everybody, one way or the other.
I agree 100%.
Unless you own these stocks. That's the only thing I can think of that's a downside.
Yep. All right, folks, so that is what we have. We have Tesla. We have TSG for possible continuation. They got some volume today, not a great pre-market activity. We have GoPro, GPRO as well here, moving quite a bit. 800,000 shares traded. So, again, this could be nice and active today. Definitely going to be on my list. BBY, okay, BBY is starting to get going here as well. So it looks like they dropped on earnings, and now they're trying to head back up, so that's good. Apple, I think, is going to wait a little bit for the market to decide what it wants to do, but we'll keep an eye on it. It's an interesting spot right now. And then we have our possibles here, STZ, PEP, Snap, MU as well, AMD, and Roku. These are our possible. As Andrew comes on, Brian and other moderators will fine-tune this list and come up with a final watch list before the 9:30 open, and also we'll go by our if and then statements, kind of see which strategy we'll be looking for at the open. Guys, thank you for joining us on YouTube. Definitely hit that thumbs up if you like the content, and have a safe trading Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow, so as we end the week Friday, 8:30 Eastern time. Take care, guys, and have a great day.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Trade safe.